Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Sauce. So I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. Everyone's going to be paying attention to the NFL, but we do have a couple NBA games here. Might as well take a look at them. As far as Saturday, had another winning day, makes 6 in a row. Since the new year hit, 2024, the NBA has just been really good to me. Would love that to continue. But yeah, so NBA Sunday, we got 2 games on the board. Let's go.
Welcome to the Sauce. The Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
First up, we got Boston on the road in Miami. Heat catching 5.5 points at home, and the total sitting at 226. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet and check this out. According to the model, Miami should win this one outright. Final score 113-111 Heat. Injuries on the Celtics side. Boston is good to go with the exception of the 2 new pieces. Both Jaden Springer and Xavier Tillman both ruled out for this one. On the Miami side, we got Jimmy Butler listed as questionable, so we'll have to wait and see if Butler plays. Duncan Robinson is back though. He missed a few games, but he's been back for the last 2. Betting trends on the Boston side. Celtics just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7, but all 7 of those games were at home. They just had a 7-game homestand. They're actually 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 on the road. On the season, they're 9-11-2 against the spread as road favorites. On the Miami side, as we know, the Heat have not been that profitable at home this year. Just 11-16 against the spread. 23rd most profitable home team in the NBA. Check this out. Miami 0-6 against the spread as home dogs this year. Just wow. But one positive thing I will say about Miami is they seem to be getting it together recently. Heat are 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. So before we get into this one, we need to mention that these 2 teams just met just over 2 weeks ago. Boston came into Miami and beat the life out of the Heat. Like, beat them up bad. Trust me, I should know. Miami +8 was one of my biggest bets that night. They beat them by like 30, 35 points or something like that. That being said, though, Miami has always played Boston tough. Even after that blowout loss, the Heat are still 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 matchups against the Celtics. So let's match these 2 teams up on the court. We'll start with the net efficiency numbers from the last 10 games. And something we need to point out, or something I feel I need to point out, Boston's been good. I know they're not covering the number, just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10. But that's a question of the Celtics being overpriced. It's not a reflection of their play on the court. I mean, look at the numbers. In the last 10 games, Boston 5th in overall net efficiency, 6th on offense, 5th on defense. Miami back at 23rd. And if we scroll down and look at the strength of schedule, Boston is 5th in the last 10 games. So the Celtics may be 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, but they're 7-3. They've won 7 of their last 10 games with top 5 efficiency numbers with the 5th strongest schedule. So Boston is fine. The problem is they keep getting overpriced. Now, when we start to take a deeper look and pull up some shot zones here, look at the 3-point shooting matchup. So obviously we know the Celtics, we have to immediately look at 3-point shooting. 37% of Boston's shot attempts in the last 10 games have been above the break threes, most in the NBA. You want to know who's first in defensive efficiency against the above the break 3 in the last 10? The Miami Heat. And it gets deeper. Let's look at some transition numbers here. Boston, 8th in frequency, 10th in efficiency. Boston likes to run the fast break. Miami's been great defensively in transition all season, 7th and 8th. And if we pull up the 4 main factors here, I think we can officially say Miami's defense has the edge over Boston's offense in this game. Rebounding edge goes to Miami. Free throw rate heavy Miami. That combined with the fact that the Heat have been locking down above the break threes where Boston takes most of their shots, I like this matchup for the Heat defense. On the other side of the court, though, I mean, this is just a blatant mismatch. The Heat offense against the Celtics defense. Efficient field goal percentage, 29th to 1st in the last 10 games. I mean, yeah, we can look at some underlying numbers, but this is shot making. I mean, that's the most important number in basketball. Are you making your shots or not? And we're talking 29th to 1st. There's a reason that in most standard basketball models, efficient field goal percentage accounts for 40% of the weight as far as the score prediction. It's the most important metric here, and it's 29th to 1st. That being said, hear me out. Let's pull up the shot zones here. Where does Miami take most of their shots from? The short mid-range, the paint shots, those 8 to 12 footers. 27% of the Heat shot attempts come from that zone in the last 10 games. That's 1st in the NBA. That so happens to be the weakest defensive shot zone for Boston, 18th and 25th in the last 10. I know you're all going to hate this bet. I mean, shit, I hate it after what the Heat just did to me, but I got to go back to Miami. Maybe I'm a sucker for doing it again. Going back to the Heat. Give me Miami plus 5.5. And honestly, I'm considering taking the money line. The fact that this game's an afternoon game, I'm more inclined to take the dog on the money line. So yeah, let's do it. Miami plus 5.5 and Miami money line next game. Sacramento on the road at OKC here. Good Western Conference matchup. Thunder laying 3.5 points at home. The total sitting at 240. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we should see a 3-point Thunder win. Final score 117-114 OKC. Injuries on the Sacramento side, we got none. No Kings injuries as of right now are listed. Oklahoma City's actually in good shape also. Still no Gordon Hayward though. He's been ruled out. And it's weird because right before he got traded, the last couple games with Charlotte, he was listed as questionable, which I thought indicated that he was going to return soon. But no, he's still out. I mean, I guess maybe they're waiting until after the All-Star break. We'll have to wait and see. So as far as matching these two teams up, I'm actually going to rip through this one quickly because it's 2:30 a.m. now, and I want to get this video up so I can go to sleep. Oklahoma City, just 1-6 against the spread in the last 7. The offense hasn't been great. They played a super easy schedule, and they're still struggling to get baskets on the interior, which was like the opposite from what Oklahoma City was doing for the first 3-4 months of the year. They've become a lot more three-point reliant recently, and they've actually been hitting their threes, but that's not the OKC that was winning all those games that had the 1 seed. They were scoring on the interior. Just hasn't been happening. This team just really hasn't looked the same recently. And on the defensive side of the ball, for some reason, Oklahoma City continues to get completely rocked from 3. Kings are top 5 in frequency from both the corner and above the break threes. Kings take a lot of threes. Look at Oklahoma City defensive efficiency numbers against those 2 shots. 28th, 20th. Add on the fact that Sacramento catching points on the road has been one of my favorite spots to bet for 2 years now. This year, Kings are 8-4 against the spread as road dogs. I'm going to be on the Kings here. I mean, obviously, we know eventually Oklahoma City is going to snap out of it and start covering the number again. I'm not going to pay to try and find out, though. I'm on the other side. Give me Kings plus 3.5. I'll probably play the money line here, too. Let's go Kings. If you want my top bets for all sport, oh, actually, I'm doing that home run swing parlay for the Super Bowl. I'm putting down a crazy same game parlay with crazy odds. It's going to be a terribly valued bet. But I told everyone on YouTube I would do it for the Super Bowl. I'm putting that on my Instagram story. So if you're looking to tail that, just follow me on Instagram. I'll post it around 3 p.m. Eastern time. Anyway, if you want my top bets for all sports parlays of the day or want to join our Discord, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information's right there on the homepage. Super Bowl Sunday, just 2 NBA games and the Super Bowl, obviously. Let's stay hot, man. It's been a hell of a run. Hopefully it continues. Remember to bet responsibly, and I will talk to you in the Discord.